Oh. Hello and welcome to a nondescript day in Manchester, weather-wise. Okay, quite a lot to talk about this week. Lots happened, lots happened. First off, I don't know whether you know, but I'm doing a petition to petition eBay. I'll put the link in below to a video and the petition. You can either watch both or just go and sign it. Thanks. Right then, first off, we have a tale, and the tale is last week. Reefy sent me a message saying about the next big thing to be released on the 20th of September. He'd been talking to somebody or something, and he sort of whispered, "Space Hulk." I thought, oh, brilliant. So anyway, on about 5 past midnight on Friday night, Saturday morning, I went to the Games Workshop website, and sure enough, on pre-order was Space Hulk. And I thought, brilliant. And I saw the price, £75. I thought, oh. So anyway, I sent a text message to my eldest son and I said, listen, Space Hulk's out, do you want to go halves? We checked it out on the Saturday with our appropriate bosses, and by Sunday morning our appropriate bosses had said, alright, any big kids, if you want it you can pre-order it. Went to the website to pre-order it, sold out. What's that about? Not particularly happy about that. I had Space Hulk many years ago. I loved it, and me and my eldest used to play it all the time. It's a brilliant game. I would have still had it if I hadn't got flooded the other year. Because when I got flooded, I lost so much stuff, especially rulebooks and cardstock like Space Hulk, and a lot of the epic stuff that I had and whatnot, as you know. But so I thought, I've been trying to get hold of it. Do you know what I mean? But people are charging stupid money for it on, on eBay and what have you. And I thought, oh well, if they're re-releasing it, maybe. But it's gone, so not having it. All I've got left from the original Space Hulk, the original Space Hulk Marines. I don't know if you've ever seen any of them. What I'll do is I'll do a better shot of them. Yeah, they're quite bizarre. If you've never seen them before, they are a bit bizarre. So we're going to have a look at them now. So just quickly, these are first edition Terminators for Space Hulk. They look weird. This one's just a normal Stormbolter. I've got a flamer somewhere. That's a flamer. They didn't last very long, these. We never bothered painting them because they released the metal ones about 2 months later, and we all bought metal ones. So that's all that's left of my my Space Hulk that got lost in the flood. Ah well. Maybe another few years they'll release another one, eh? So there you go. That's what they look like. I'm a bit miffed about this. Please, let's not have a comment section full of just this. Just I hate Games Workshop because they're twats. That doesn't help anybody, does it? What annoys me is the way in which Games Workshop are operating these pre-orders at the moment. Also going to have a look at Pinky's video. I'll put a link into his video because he's the same as I think he feels the same as me on this, although I'm not quite as extreme. You can't drop £75 out of the blue easily. I don't care who you are, but you can't. On the 20th of the month, well, actually it's not the 20th, is it? It's about the 12th or 13th or 14th or whenever it was of a month. You can't just turn around and say, I know, I fancy going spending 75 quid on some plastic soldiers and a bit of cardboard. Can't do it. So that annoys me, the fact that they always seem to do these pre-orders around the middle of the month. It's ridiculous. Why don't they do them why don't they do them at the beginning of the month when everybody's been paid? So at least you stand a fair chance of being able to talk the spouse round into letting you have some money to buy some toys with. The other thing is, of course, I don't like this this notion of limited. It's the only reason there's nothing special about it. The only reason it's limited is because they don't want to carry stock in the shops. They want to make sure that they sell their full production run. You know, so I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they're selling, I don't know how many tens of thousands of copies. They'll sell out. That many people want them. They could have produced twice as many and they'd have still sold out. You know what I mean? What I don't get is why operate that sort of methodology of pre-ordering stuff of a pre-produced production line. Why don't they adopt the same sort of methodology as a lot of these companies are doing on Kickstarter, whereby what they do is they say, right, we've got this special edition miniature if you back us, and basically what that does is they take out so many orders for that, they get so many backers, or let's call them orders, because that's what it is. It's just pre-sales, isn't it? And they find out how much they can sell, and then they go and produce that many and send them out. I mean, it's worked. Forge World have done that for quite a while, actually, in the book market. They put out a pre-order, say, for one of the big, expensive £75 fluff books, and people pre-order it, and they pre-order it from a certain date for it to be released, say, 2, maybe 3 months hence. So why can't Games Workshop say, right, well, on the first of the month we are now going to do a limited run of Space Hulk. Please, if you're interested, if you want it, order it now between the 1st and the end of the month. So they run it like for 30 odd days. People can go in, do the pre-ordering, and then it ends. If they want to give it this some sort of effect of it being a limited edition special thing, basically you've got a month. Everybody goes along and orders it, and you can order it. And then maybe in 2 months' time, you get your Space Hulk, and everybody's happy, and then nobody's sitting around getting annoyed again at Games Workshop's brutal and heartless marketing policies. I don't understand. And the other thing I don't understand is this limited to 3 copies per person. Bollocks. It should be limited to 1 copy per person if it's a limited edition, to stop all of these people. I would have said something a lot worse, buying up an extra 2 or maybe even an extra 3 copies, sticking them on eBay and selling them for, you know, 2, 3 times the actual RRP, and they have absolutely no interest whatsoever in getting the game. It's just to them it's just a money making thing, and that sickens me. But there's nothing we can do about that. People will do that, and it's not eBay's fault. It's people's fault. So don't go slagging eBay off either. It's people's fault. Do you know what I mean? You can't blame the hammer for knocking the nail through your hand, can you? At the end of the day. So that's that. Rant over. It's not a rant. It's just a question to Games Workshop. Why can't you do a different sort of pre-ordering? Why can't you pre-order stuff, and then when you've got within a certain amount of time, people have paid for it, people have got the lots of money out. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of people under the age of 16, 17 that can get it because they just nag their parents, and the parents have got credit cards, and I don't have a credit card. I lived through the late 80s and early 90s, and I seen what credit cards can do to people. So I out of principle, don't have a credit card. Don't buy anything on credit. But ridiculous. Anyway, that's that. Talking of Games Workshop and 40k and that sort of stuff, my eldest son, as you know, if you take your mind back to April, my eldest son asked for loads of Games Workshop stuff, and he went for Tyranids. This is another reason why Space Hulk would have been good, because, like I say, we used to play it all the time, and Man of War and stuff like that, but which you can't get, which is a good game actually, Man of War. Lost that as well. You'd have thought all them ships had floated in the flood, but they were made of lead, weren't they? So they all sank and disappeared and had to be sanitised. Anyway, the Tyranids, Gene Stealers, and all that sort of would have been good. But anyway, and so I'm gonna have to start painting some 40k stuff. I've got some Dark Angels, I've got Chaos miniatures lying around, I've got Dark Angels. I've got a whole massive amount of Elysian drop troops that could do with a bit of paint on them. So I don't know. I might be doing some 40k stuff. I'm not buying any 40k stuff. It's only stuff that I've got already. So I don't know. You just keep. If you're a 40k, I'll be doing some stuff for you. Don't worry. Not a great deal. I'm just doing a force to take on a few Tyranids, but you know, there you go. Which brings me on to another thing, painting. I was watching Von Ketteringham's video called Horse, or was it Hooves? Was it Hooves? And he's talking about styles. He's looking at painting some Romans or Egyptians or something. He wants to do it in an old school style with old school style miniatures. It's interesting, I think, is painting miniatures and picking a style to paint them in. And I've been ribbed a bit the other week by Strax. And if you don't know who Strax is, then you can go and have a look at Paint a Day. And he was saying that I'm cheating with me dip. Well, not cheating, but you know, it makes everything brown. And he talks about painting it, making everything brown with the amount of Agrax Earthshade, or Gravelax as he calls it, that he puts on his miniatures. But anyway, no. The point is, I'm after a specific style with my Napoleonic British, and my Napoleonic British is that style of, I want them to look painted, and I want them to look like toy soldiers. And the dip helps me do that, and I quite like that particular look. And I think a lot of people don't go as much for this sort of thing. I think it looks dead cool. You know what I mean? We got this ultra realistic, or trying to paint everything in a la White Dwarf. Do you know what I mean? Where everything's sort of realistic and stuff, or as realistic as you can make it. And a lot of times it looks shit. Whereas if you paint them as though they're not real, do you know what I mean? If you paint them like War Games miniatures or toy soldiers, or do you know what I mean, like blocks of colour and then a heavy wash or heavy black lining. I'll tell you who does it really well. Pezapoo. Pezapoo does absolutely amazing looking War Games miniatures when he wants to. He can paint really well as well, but what I'm trying to say is the style of that sort of War Games miniature is fantastic. I mean, if you've ever seen his those little insecty things he did, fantastic. And it's a style, and it's a deliberate style, and I think it looks really good. It also is good if you can't paint too well as well, because you're just basically blocking in a colour and letting a wash pull out all that detail. It's nice, it's good. I just thought I'd mention that. Go and watch Von Ketchner and give him some support on making a decision. I think he should do something like Ancient Egyptians. But there you go. We won't go on to that. So we've had a bit of a natter about that. Next up, we I think we found a spy who's now gone deep underground, which is worrying. We shouldn't have outed him because we don't know who he is anymore. And what happened was, on Friday in my Paint the Day video with British Legion, he was going on about, he was sort of, he's been on at me for ages saying, who's Adam? Who is Adam? We must find out who Adam is. So we decided we'd go and try and sub Adam Crafty. Now, I know a lot of you have been subbed by Adam Crafty, and it disappears and comes back again, and disappears and comes back. And we just can't fathom why. I mean, what was that about? Anyway, so we went to we did this thing where everybody go and sub him. We want to see a video at him, and he took his channel down. Why? What have we done? We only wanted to bring him into the community in a more open way, but never mind. He's gone. So there you go. So if you go and if you do watch the Paint a Day video and you go and sub his channel and he's not there, then sorry about that. Next thing. Oh, well, that's it really. That's all I've got to say. I've got a list here, you see. I always have a list. And I forgot that I'd come to the end of the list because I'm getting on in years. So anyway, I'll wrap up now and let you get on with some painting. Just before I go, once again, go and have a look at my petition. I put a video about it. I'm not gonna pollute this this video with it, but go and watch the video and sign a petition. And that's about it then for this week. There will be a Napoleonic update coming, and I will be starting to do a few 40k things for this game I'm having with me eldest. Well, it's not a game; it'll be a campaign, I suppose, because you know, it's always good to have somebody that's left the hobby to come back into it. And he's doing a really good job on his Tyranids. I'll have to go and show you some of his Tyranids. They're absolutely amazing. Yeah, when you consider he's 31 now. I think he last painted a miniature when he was what, 16, and they're really good. You know, he's done a really nice job on them. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll catch you next week for a musing, and I'll be doing a Napoleonic update later in the week. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.